So we were discussing work energy principles in yesterday's class. Let us recall, we have discussed a work energy principle for conservative force systems. Do you agree with me, Vedant?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And what is a conservative force? Conservative force is that force for which the work done by the force in moving the object from position number 1 to position number 2 will solely depend upon the initial and final position, and it will be independent of the path followed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if a body is acted upon such a force, that is conservative force, then we can write down work done by all the conservative forces in moving the object from position number 1 to position number 2 will be given by uh, potential energy associated with all the conservative forces in position number 1 minus potential energy associated with all the forces at position number 2. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what are the conservative forces we studied yesterday? First conservative force was gravitational force, gravitational pull, and it had a expression for potential energy as mgh. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Where h is the distance of the body at a given position from chosen reference. H is positive if it is above the reference, h is negative if it is below the reference. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
In yesterday's class, I said that the potential energy doesn't have physical meaning in itself. The change in potential energy has a physical meaning, because negative of change in potential energy is nothing but the work done. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, you will imagine that if my reference is below the point, then potential energy will be negative. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So, do we assign signs to the energy as positive and negative? In strictest sense, no. Therefore, even though I define a term something called as potential energy, it doesn't have physical significance. Physical significance is assigned only to the negative of difference between the potential energies. For example, negative of difference between potential energies as the object moves from 1 to 2 is minus of V2 minus V1. That is V1 minus V2. And that is given as the work done. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mind you that this work energy principle was applicable only and only if the body is subjected to conservative forces. Happy?
Yes, sir.
What was the expression for potential energy in case it was a elastic force or spring force? Half kx square, where x is the deformation of the spring and x is positive if it is tensile and x is negative if it is compressive. However, as there is x square, the sign is really not, sign of x is not really not going to matter. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this was the recall of previous class, and we have dealt with the first work energy principle. Vedant, now let's go ahead. Let us do a thought experiment and let us proceed with the second work energy principle. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so imagine that the object is moving or is sliding down a gradient or undulating ground, and it is under the action of n number of forces. Those n number of forces I have shown by F1, F2, F3 up to Fn. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And practically speaking, this object and the ground both are going to be rough, and therefore there is going to be a frictional force. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Frictional force, whether it is conservative force or non-conservative force.
Non-conservative.
Yes. So in yesterday's class, we have seen that frictional force is non-conservative force. Therefore, this object in general is subjected to all kinds of forces, conservative as well as non-conservative forces. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And as it slides down under the action of all these n forces, it reaches the position number 2. Happy?
Yes, sir.
The center of mass of the object when it was occupying the initial position, that I am going to treat it as origin O. And towards right x is positive, towards up y is positive. So we are observing the system in Cartesian coordinate system. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, how will we write down the work done by all the forces acting on a body as the object moves from position number 1 to 2? So कैसे लिखना है? It is going to be summation of x component of all the forces multiplied by x, because x is the distance that is traveled in x direction. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
As the object reaches to position number 2 from position number 1, the distance traveled in x direction is x. So let us say there are F1, F2 up to Fn forces. I will take x components of all those forces. So F1's x component is F1x. So F1x multiplied by x plus F2x multiplied by x with sign, of course. If x component of F1 is negative, then I am going to incorporate negative sign. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
But what essentially I am doing, F1x into x plus F2x into x up to Fnx into x. So therefore I can take x common and I can simply write summation of Fx, x component of all the forces multiplied by x, is the work done by x component of all the forces as the object moves from position number 1 to 2. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, the object is moving in xy plane. The motion doesn't have any z component. So our life is easy right now. What is the work done by all the forces as the object moves from position number 1 to 2 in y direction? On the similar lines, I will say it is summation Fy into y. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So what is the expression for work done by all the forces acting on a body? It is summation Fx into x plus summation Fy into y. Keep this in mind. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now let us take a digress or seemingly unrelated point we will now look at. Let us apply Newton's second law in x direction to this motion. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me what will be the statement of Newton's second law? Algebraic sum of all the forces in x direction acting on an object must be equal to what? Tell me.
Equal to mass of that object into.
Yes, but we will write down the Newton's second law in traditional form. It will be rate of change of momentum. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So this is the momentum in x direction by dt, rate of change of momentum with reference to time. As you said, mass is constant throughout the observation period. Therefore, I can take mass outside the derivative sign and then I can write it as dvx by dt, rate of change of x component of velocity of an object with reference to time. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you're fine till this time, now what I'm trying to do is I'm going to find out the work done by all these forces as the object moves from, let us say, x to x plus dx. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So the object has moved by distance dx under the action of all these forces. What will be the work done? Can you tell me? Will it be summation fx into dx?
Yes, sir.
Algebraic sum of x components of the all the forces, and that unbalanced force in x direction was acting on the body as the body moved from x to x plus dx, as that means it moved from by distance dx in x direction. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
How small is dx? Dx is infinitesimally small. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Infinitesimally small का मतलब है it is tending to zero. Happy?
Yes, sir.
But in the sense of physics, dx is so small over which I can assume that summation fx is constant. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is summation fx dx. This will be equal to what? So I have to multiply the right hand side also by dx. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So rate of change of x component of velocity by dt into dx into mass. This is going to be the equation. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
No information gain, no information lost. I have post multiplied both the sides by dx. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if I were to write down the total work done by all the forces as the object moves from position number 1 to position number 2, x component of all the forces, total work done, what should I do? I should integrate, because this total x is made up of finite, very large number of these strips having width dx. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So if I were to find out the total work done by x component of all the forces as the object moves from position number 1 to position number 2, what should I do? I should integrate. We have discussed earlier as well, whenever you see the incremental quantities in the equation, that means quantities like dx, dv, That means for any physical interpretation of the phenomena, integration is pending. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Integrate करना ही पड़ेगा. With these infinitesimally small quantities, we cannot physically interpret anything about the situation. Therefore, let us integrate. What is the total work done by x component of all the forces? It is summation fx dx. Are you with me?
Yes,
And
sir.
x changes from 0 to x. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
As the object moves from position number 1 to 2, as I have taken this point as origin, the x changes from 0 to x. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so I have to integrate the right hand side as well. But what is the integrand on the right hand side? तो जरा यहाँ पे ध्यान दो, m dv by dx into dvx by dt into dx. I will rearrange this term as m dvx dx by dt. Can I do that? Yes, because none of the quantities is actually zero. It is tending to zero, but it is non-zero. Therefore, I can take liberty and I can do that. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is dx by dt?
Velocity.
Dx by dt is nothing but vx. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So, can I replace this term by velocity in x direction?
Yes, sir.
So, what is there on right hand side? It is m
dx
dx
dvx.
vx, and I need to integrate. As the object moves from 0 to 1, integrand on left hand side was function of x. Therefore, the limits were from 0 to x. Limits were on x. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, integrand on right hand side is not position, it is velocity. Do you agree with me? X
Yes, sir.
component of velocity to be precise. So, what should be the limits? Velocity of the object when it was occupying position number 1. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
I will call it as v1x. So what is v1? v1 is the velocity of object when it was occupying position number 1. What is v1x? v1x is the x component of that velocity. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And here I will write it as v2x. So you have to integrate with corresponding units. You have to first understand what is integrand. Integration किसके हिसाब से हो रहा है? Is it with reference to position or is it with reference to velocity? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now from right hand side, can I take mass common outside? Yes, because mass is not a function of velocity. Would you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Here integration is occurring with reference to velocity. Mass is definitely not a function of velocity because we are dealing with Newtonian mechanics. The speed has not reached anywhere close to speed of light. So we are not dealing with Einstein's relativistic mechanics. We are dealing with Newtonian mechanics, and therefore though apparent mass will be slightly different, but still we can assume safely it to be constant and we can take it outside the integration. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So I have taken this outside the integration. What is the integration of Vx? Tell me.
V square x by 2.
Yes, so it is Vx square by 2. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And what are the limits? V1x and V2x. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now, can I rewrite this as half m v2x square? Happy?
Yes, sir.
Plus half m v1x square.
Sir, won't it be negative?
I'm so sorry. Yes, it is negative. Good that you are attentive. So this is half m v2x square minus half m v1x square. Now tell me, what is this quantity? 1/2 mv square. Do you know the name for it?
Yeah, change in kinetic energy.
Yes. So right hand side is change in kinetic energy. Again, in yesterday's class, I said that there is no physical meaning to potential energy. There is physical meaning to change in potential energy. On similar lines, just because this term has appeared in the expression of work done, we give it some name. And as it has the units of energy. देखो, m का unit क्या है बोलो? kg. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
What is the unit of velocity?
Meter per second.
Meter per second.
Second.
So, but इसका square है. So, it is going to be kg meter square per second square. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And what is the unit of energy? energy is force into time. Energy is force into distance. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
What is the unit of force? Newton. But that is kg meter per second square. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Multiplied by meter. So kg meter square per second square is nothing but the unit of work done or the energy. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And therefore, as it is energy and as it is related to kinetics, because it involves my m as well as velocity, therefore we give it a name, kinetic energy. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
To compute this energy, you will have to consider the mass of the object and velocity. So it deals with kinetics and not kinematics. Therefore, हमने इसको नाम क्या दिया? Kinetic energy. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Is there any physical significance to kinetic energy? No. The physical significance is assigned only to change in kinetic energy. What is the physical significance of change in kinetic energy? Change in kinetic energy is equal to work done. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, on similar lines, can you tell me what is the work done by y component of all the forces? Summation Fy into dy, its integration from 0 to y, and this must be equal to, yes, tell me. I will have to replace x by y. That's all I am going to do. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So it is going to be equal to half m v2y square plus half m v1y square. Happy?
Sir,
Yes,
it's
sir.
minus.
Yeah, with minus sign. I'm sorry. With minus sign. That's right. Now, if I add these two equations, what do I get on left hand side? Let me add these two. So what do I get on left hand side? Is it the total work done by all the forces?
Yes, sir.
Is it the total work done by all the forces in moving the body from 1 to 2? देखो, is as the body moves in the xy plane, it doesn't have any component in z direction. So work done by force components of all the forces in x direction plus work done by components of all the forces in y direction as the object moves from position number 1 to 2 is going to be what? It is going to be the total work done by all the forces acting on a body as object moves from 1 to 2. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
See, we have also written that here it is summation fx into x. So integration of dx is going to be equal to x, and upper limit is x, lower limit is 0. So this quantity is going to be summation fx into x. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And this quantity is going to be equal to summation fy into y. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So sum of these two is going to give me work done by all the forces in moving the object from 1 to 2 on left hand side. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So I will write that. So I am adding this, mind you. And what will be there on right hand side? Tell me. Won't it be half m vx square plus half m vy square minus into bracket half m v1x, I'm sorry, and v1y. And here it will be, just give me the time. Let us do one thing. Half m I will take common, and what I will get is v1 sorry v2x square, v2x square, देखो पहले वाला टर्म
Yes,
हाफ
sir.
m कॉमन v2x square और हाफ m कॉमन प्लस v2y square. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Great. And then minus again half m common into bracket, what do I get?
V1x.
v1x square plus
V1y square.
v1y square. Do you agree with me? But what
Yes,
is
sir.
this quantity? Is it the total kinetic energy associated with the body at position number 2?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, can I write this as T2, the symbol for kinetic energy that we use is T. So it is the kinetic energy associated with the body at position number 2 minus kinetic energy associated with the body at position number 1. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So this was the derivation, and this is the work energy principle that we will be using frequently to solve the problems. Mind you, to start deriving this principle, I have made no assumption on the force system being conservative. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So this principle is applicable to both the force systems, one which is conservative as well as the one which is non-conservative. So all force systems. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Whereas the first principle, which had a similar appearance, कैसे था पहला principle? Work done by all the conservative forces in moving the body from 1 to 2 is equal to V1 potential energy at position number 1 corresponding to those conservative forces minus V2 that is potential energy at position number 2 corresponding to those conservative forces. यहाँ पे V1 minus V2 है, यहाँ पे T2 minus T1 है. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And there is difference. This principle is applicable to both the force systems because in its derivation, I did not make any assumption on system being conservative. Happy?
Yes, sir.
While when I derived the first equation, in that the moment I say potential energy, that term is defined only and only for conservative forces. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So first principle is valid only for conservative force systems. Second principle is valid for both the systems. Now what we are going to do is we are going to combine both these principles together. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I were to combine both the principles together, I must ensure that the body is subjected to only conservative forces because otherwise the first principle will not be useful. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So assuming that the body is subjected to only conservative forces, और एक प्रिंसिपल लिख सकते हैं. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
वो कौन सा है? So we are going to equate this to this. देखो दोनों में the left hand side is same. Do you agree with me? It is work done by all the forces in moving the body from position number 1 to 2. So can I equate their RHS?
Yes, sir.
Logical. So therefore, what do I get? T2 minus T1 is equal to V1 minus V2. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Rearrange the terms. So everything in position number 1 will be clubbed together. Everything in position number 2 can be clubbed together. So what do I get? V1 plus T1 is equal to V2 plus T2. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Provided this system is subjected to, this object is subjected to only conservative forces, then only we can do this. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the term on left hand side? It is summation of kinetic and potential energies associated with summation of kinetic and potential energies of the object. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So, summation of kinetic and potential energy remains conserved is what this equation is saying. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So at position number 1 and at position number 2, summation of potential energy and kinetic energy must remain preserved, provided the system is acted upon only by conservative forces. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This term, that is addition of potential energy and kinetic energy at any position, has a particular name. Do you know that? 11th 12th physics में किया है? बोलो.
Total energy.
No. It is called as total mechanical energy. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So total mechanical energy at position number 1 must be equal to total mechanical energy at position number 2. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is total mechanical energy at position number 1. So we have now three principles in place. कौन-कौन से है? First principle applicable to only conservative force system. Work done by all the conservative forces acting on a body in moving the body from 1 to 2 is equal to V1 minus V2. Potential energy at 1 minus potential energy at 2. Second principle applicable to generalized force systems. Work done by all the forces acting on a body, whether they are conservative or not, it's okay, is equal to change in kinetic energy. And the third principle, total mechanical energy remains preserved in case the object is subjected to conservative forces during its motion. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
These three principles are provided to you, and you are going to now employ them to solve the problems. So can you read this problem for me?
Yes, sir. A trailer truck enters a 2% downhill grade traveling at 108 km per hour and must slow down at 72 km per hour in 300 meters. The cab has a mass of 1800 kg and the trailer has a 5400 kg. Determine the average braking force that must be applied. B. The average force exerted on the coupling between the cab and the trailer, uh, and trailer if 70% of the braking force is supplied by the trailer and 30% by the cab.
Okay, so let us try to understand the problem first. So this vehicle has two parts. This is called as cab. Are you with me? And this
Yes,
is
sir.
called as trailer. Happy?
Yes, sir.
This cab and trailer, they must be connected through a coupling. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So I will represent that coupling diagrammatically something like this. This is the trailer. Happy? And this is the cab. Let us say. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And they are connected by an element. This is the coupling. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So as the trailer moves or it applies the brake, there is going to be force exchange between the trailer and cab. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And that force exchange is through the coupling member. So in the second part of the problem, you have been asked to estimate the force in this coupling. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, tell me which of the three principles that you are going to use. Nobody is going to tell you that you have to use this principle and solve the problem. चलो कैसे डिसाइड करेंगे? So that's the first step. Which principle needs to be used? तो समझो let us say we are going to apply the last principle. Last principle कौन सा? पहले तो देखते हैं कि इस body is on this trailer and cab. What are the forces that are active? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So there is a braking force. Then
Ye-
there is a gravitational force. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Are these forces conservative? Yes. Both the forces are conservative. Can I use any of the three principles? Yes, because all the three principles are valid for conservative force system. There is no issue at all. Is there a friction?
No.
That braking force must be the manifestation of friction. Do you agree with me? Sorry, that braking force has nothing to do with the friction, because when that braking force is applied, the vehicle is still moving. It has not come to the rest. We are going to deal with the friction only and only if there is a skidding between the tire and road. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So there is no friction. Of course, there is going to be rolling friction, but that is negligible. So there is no friction at all. So all the forces are conservative in nature. That is the first thing that we have established. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now let me use the third principle. Third principle क्या है बोलो? Total mechanical energy at position number 1 and total mechanical energy at position number 2 is same. Which is the position number 1 here? This one. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
What is the position number 2 here? This one. If I write down the potential energy and kinetic energy at position number 1 and 2, will it involve forces? Tell me. पोटेंशियल एनर्जी में और काइनेटिक एनर्जी, इन दोनों में फोर्सेस रहते हैं. Definitely it will not involve the braking force. Do you agree with me?
Yes,
I
sir.
can write the potential energy for gravitational force, but what about the braking force? There will not be any term involved. So therefore, it is but natural that the third equation that I am going to use is useless, though it is valid. It doesn't involve the unknown that we need to solve for. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So decision is made. Third equation, put it in dustbin. What about the second equation? Chalo. What about the first equation? Tell me, what does the first equation say?
Work done is equal to change in potential energy.
Yes, work done is equal to change in potential energy. Now, what is the parameter that you have to monitor? Is it the speed? Dekho, the truck has to slow down from 108 km kilometer per hour to 72 kmph. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So if speed is the parameter that you are going to follow, will that parameter be captured in potential energy?
No.
No. So obviously first equation is out of question. Though it is applicable, just because it is applicable, you are not going to use it. You are not going to use those equations. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Just because you have chips, you will not eat it after the meal. In a similar fashion, use only the equations which are needed. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. So which equation have we settled down on? We are going to use the second equation. And what is that equation?
Work done is equal to change in kinetic energy.
Work done by all the forces acting on a body, whether they are conservative or not, doesn't matter. Work done by all the forces acting on a body as the body moves from position number 1 to position number 2 must be equal to what? Change in kinetic energy. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. So now, if I were to write down the work done by all the forces, isn't it mandatory that I should show all the forces?
Yes, sir.
So what is the diagram that we draw to show all the forces acting on a body? Tell me. Free body diagram.
Yes,
You
sir.
agree with me? So what I'm going to do do as a first thing is to draw the free body diagram of this trailer during its travel from 1 to 2. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So let me draw it. So what is the weight of cap or what is the mass of cap? Tell me. 1800
1800.
kg. So can I show that acting at it somewhere at its center of gravity? Do you
Yes,
agree
sir.
with me? And how much is that? 1800 multiplied by 9.81. Happy?
Yes, sir.
What is unit of 1800 kg? What
kg.
is the unit of 9.81 meter per second square? So what is the unit of resulting force? Newton.
Newton.
Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the weight of trailer? Tell me.
5400.
So can I show its weight acting at its center of gravity?
Yes, sir.
And how much is that?
5400 into
5400 into 9.81. Chalo. Before we show all other forces acting on a body, I am going to ask you a question. Does this force do a work
Yes, sir.
as the body moves from position number 1 to 2?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Why? Because it is moving on incline. Agar if it would have been moving on a horizontal plane, then these forces would not have done any work. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Because they are moving perpendicular to the line of action of force. But as this is on inclined surface, the work will be done by these forces as the object moves from position number 1 to 2. Happy?
Yes, sir.
What else should be shown? Should I be showing the reaction offered by the ground on this?
Yes, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And how should I show that?
Hmm.
Bolo. How should it be shown? Yes, go ahead.
Yes,
Can
sir.
reaction be offered along the surface? No, because we said that the friction is not present. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So the reaction will be offered in which direction? This way,
Yes, sir.
perpendicular to the surface.
Yes, sir.
You agree with me? And I'm going to call that reaction as N. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, tell me what is 2% downgrade slope. So what does it mean? 2% of slope. मतलब क्या है? Delta y upon delta x is equal to 0.02. Happy?
Yes, sir.
This is the meaning of 2% downgrade slope. Now, if I were to represent it diagrammatically, if this is the slope, this is delta y and this is delta x. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So what will be this angle? Tell me. tan inverse of
0.02.
tan inverse of delta y upon delta x. But what is delta y upon delta x? It is 0.02. So can you tell me what is this angle?
1.14.
So the angle made by this slope with reference to horizontal is how much?
1.14.
1.12 degree. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Happy? Okay. Now, chalo, if this angle is 1.12 degree, then what is the angle made by vertical with reference to this reaction? This is also 1.12 degree.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because angle between the perpendiculars to the line is same as angle between the lines. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Soon you are going to understand that what we are doing is fertile exercise. But as it is the first problem in this topic, we are going to do it sincerely. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Chalo. Now tell me, does this N do any work as the object moves from position number 1 to 2?
No.
No, because it is always perpendicular to the surface. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And the object is moving parallel to the surface. So it is not going to do any work. So anyway, we need not estimate N. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Question, can we estimate N? Obviously, we can estimate by calling this direction as X and perpendicular to the surface as Y and taking summation Fy equal to 0, we will be able to estimate N. But that is not required. Why it is not required? Because N is not going to do any work. Happy?
Yes, sir.
ओके सो फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम में दिखाया तो है जरूर लेकिन यूजफुल नहीं है वर्क तो किससे होना है वर्क विल बी डन बाय दिस 5400 into 9.81 and 1800 into 9.81 हैप्पी
Yes, sir.
ओके इज देयर एनीथिंग एल्स और कोई फोर्स है क्या इस बॉडी के ऊपर yes obviously there is a constant braking force that is applied do you agree with me
Yes, sir.
and that constant braking force total applied by both by cab and car together that I am going to show it in this fashion. It is going to be along the surface. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And that braking force I am going to call it as FB. Happy?
Yes, sir.
What is the first part? The average braking force that must be applied is what is being asked. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So we need to estimate this quantity. Chalo. So let us apply the principle that we were talking about. Before doing that, let us convert this kmph into meter per second square. Why? Because dekho, in force we are considering unit as Newton, so we are dealing with lengths in meter and time in second. So therefore, I must convert this 72 kmph and 108 kmph into meter per second. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So what do we do to do that? We multiply it by 5 by 18. This is the multiplying factor. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Convert. So what is 108 kmph? Convert it
Yes, sir.
quickly.
Sir, it's 30 meter per second.
30.
Yes, sir.
So this is 30 meter per second. And what is 72
Yes.
in kmph? 20 meter per second. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So 30 meter per second has to be dropped down to 20 meter per second in the length of 300 meter along the incline. No, what is that 300 meter? It is shown as horizontal. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So how much is the inclined length from 1 to 2? चलो वो पहले calculate करना पड़ेगा. So I will draw a diagram, separate diagram. This is position number 1. Happy? This is
Yes,
position
sir.
number 2. If the horizontal distance between position number 1 and 2 is given as 300, this is given. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And if this angle is how much? Tell me 1.12 degree.
Yes, sir.
So how much is the inclined distance? So what should I do? L cos of 1.12 degree must be equal to 300. So what is L? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Ensure that your calculator is in degree mode.
Yes, sir. Sir, it's 300.05.
So it is negligible, but still, to be correct procedurally, I will write that 300.05 meter. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is L. And now let us write down the work done by each of the forces. Now, can you tell me, have we shown all the forces?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, what is the work done by 5400 into 9.81? So I'm going to write down now work done by all the forces in moving the object from 1 to 2. So 5400 multiplied by 9.81 is the force. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And how much is this distance? This is the work done. As the object moves from 1 to 2 in the direction of 5400 into 9.81, it has moved by vertically by this distance. And what is that distance? Tell me.
Yes.
It is 300.05 sine of 1.12 degree.
Yes, sir.
Just tell me how much this comes out to be. 300.05 into sine of 1.12.
Sir, it's 5.86.
Okay, so substantial, right?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So this is, and now should I assign a positive sign to this or negative sign to this? Positive sign, because 5400 into 9.81 is in downward direction, and as the object moves from position number 1 to 2, it has vertically traveled in downward direction. So the deformation has occurred in the direction of the force. Therefore, work done is by the force and it is positive. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now let us write down work done by 1800 into 9.81. It is going to be the same. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Same in the sense this factor is going to be same. 9.81 multiplied by 300.05 sine of 1.12 degree. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else is going to do the work? As the object moves from position number 1 to position number 2, the work is done by this FB, and that work done is FB into 300.5, but it is negative because it is done against FB. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So into FB into 300.05. Work is done on braking force or work is done against the braking force, and therefore it is minus FB into 300.05. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This must be equal to what? This must be equal to T2 minus T1.
Yes, sir.
Happy? This is the principle that we are using. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, can you tell me kinetic energy associated with the body at position number 2? 20 मीटर पर सेकेंड है ना, तो मास
Yes, sir.
कंबाइंड मास लेना पड़ेगा, दोनों के साथ काइनेटिक एनर्जी है, बोथ आर मूविंग by the same speed. So therefore 1800 plus 5400 is the total mass. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
1800 plus 5400 half m into v square, that is 20 square, minus half. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
1800 plus 5400 into 30 square. This is the kinetic energy associated at position number 1. Now, this equation involves how many unknowns? Only one unknown, that is braking force. So can we estimate braking force? Yes. Please do
Yes.
it and let me know. I need independent confirmation. So once anyone else has calculated the answer, you must tell me by unmuting yourself. I will also solve along with you. So don't simplify this equation any further. You can directly write this equation on calculator and you can solve for FB.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
with me? Okay. So let us do that. We will solve this and then we will stop for today. 5400 multiplied by 9.81 multiplied by 300 sine of 1.12. Ensure that your calculator is in degree mode. Plus 1800 multiplied by 9.81 multiplied by 300.05 into sine of 1.12 degree. That's done. Minus FB is treated as X, so minus alpha X into 300.05 alpha equal to I can now take 1/2 0.5 into bracket 1800 plus 5400 common, and then what remains is 20 square minus 30 square. So how much did you get? Tell me.
Sir, it's still remaining, sir.
No. You can't spend this much time. Chalo,
Yes,
anyone
sir.
else? I am getting it as 7379.6. And this will be in Newton. Please confirm anyone else has got the same answer. Confirm that and then we will close for the day.
Sir, can you scroll up a bit?
Yes, sure.
Sir, I am getting some different answer.
You are getting different answer.
Yes, sir.
What is the answer that you are getting?
4618.39.
4618.39. It is all likely that I would have made a mistake. I will check once again. 1 minute. So 5400 into 9.81 into 300.05 into sine of 1.12, that's correct, plus 100 1800 9.81 into 305 into sine of what, that's correct, x into okay. No, I don't think I have made any mistake here. Vedant, how much are you getting?
So 73.
7379.6.
Yes, sir. 7379.6.
Okay, so there is some mistake here. Others, please cross verify that you are getting it as 7379.6. As I am getting it same with Vedant, I will see that it is, means I will say that it is the correct one. Vedant, hopefully you are not just.
No, sir. Yes, sir. I have
Yes,
calculated it.
you are calculated. Okay. So with this, we will stop here, and the second part of the problem we will do it in the next class, and then we will solve set of problems based on these three principles. Chalo. So you can use the same link for attendance marking. I'm going to stop the recording now.